Hi friends, welcome back to a new session. In the last two videos I had given you syllabus for electrical machine. Those syllabus is almost all same for GATE, ESE, PSUs and for state level competitive examinations like Transco, Genco, Discoms, etc. Okay. So, see, as I told you before starting electrical machine subject, so in the electrical machine subject we are having 5 chapters like transformers, induction machine, synchronous machine, DC machine and special machine. Before starting those chapters, first of all, in few videos I will be discussing basics, because if you are very familiar with the basics, then subject will become very easy for you. And if you are very familiar with the basics and if you understand the subject clearly, you can solve any previous questions from GATE, ESE, PSUs or from Transco, Genco, Discoms, etc. Okay. So in this session I am just going to start basics topic. See guys, according to Faraday, what are the basic requirements for inducing EMF? Number one, set of conductors, because in this set of conductors only EMF is going to induce. Yes or no? So let me write here, according to Faraday, tell me guys, what are the basic requirements for inducing EMF? As I told you, number one, set of conductors. Why we need set of conductors? I told you, in these conductors only EMF is going to induce. Okay. And second one, we need magnetic field. Tell me why we need magnetic field. Suppose if magnetic field is time invariant, nothing but DC magnetic field, if conductors are moving, this moving conductor cuts this time invariant magnetic field, then EMF will be induced. Yes or no? Suppose if magnetic field is time variant, nothing but AC magnetic field, and conductors are stationary, this time varying magnetic field go and link with a set of stationary conductors, then also EMF will be induced. So obviously we need set of conductors and we need magnetic field. In addition to these 2 points guys, third point is very important. What is the third point? There should be rate of change of, that's why I am writing d by dt here. There should be rate of change of flux linkage n pi between what and what? Between conductors and magnetic field. Between conductors and magnetic field. Why? Very simple. We know relation EMF induced in a conductor E proportional to d by dt of n pi. One relation is there. Here guys, in this equation, okay, N means what? Number of turns of a conductor. Pi means what? Flux. N pi means what? Flux linkage. Rate of change of flux linkage should be there between conductors and magnetic field. Then only EMF will be induced in that conductor. So simply I can write here, N pi means what? Please try to tell me. N pi means what? Flux linkage. Is it clear? Right. Next. Then immediately you may get one doubt. Sir, how can rate of change of flux linkage will be possible between conductors and magnetic field? This is a question we are getting. Yes or no? So here that I am just explaining as a note here. See, very simple. Rate of change of flux linkage, I am saying d by dt of n pi is possible if there is relative time variation between conductors and magnetic field or relative space variation between conductors and magnetic field. I'll tell you what is that RTV, relative time variation, what is that RSV, relative space variation, all those things we'll explain here. Okay. Anyway, let me write here as a note. Rate of change of flux linkage will be possible if there is relative time variation. I am just writing in short. RTV means what? Relative time variation. If there is relative time variation R. RSV means what? Relative space variation. Relative space variation between conductors and magnetic field. Between conductors and magnetic field. Is it clear? Sir, no? Right. Now, let me discuss relative time variation. First of all, let me discuss here relative time variation, RTV. I am explaining here relative time variation, RTV. See guys, in relative time variation, what about conductor's position? Here conductors are stationary, they won't move. Conductors are stationary. Okay. And what about magnetic field? I am just writing in short. Magnetic field means H field I am writing. Okay. Magnetic field is time variant. Let me write in short as TV, time variant. If conductors are stationary, magnetic field time variant. Okay. So that condition only I am calling it as relative time variation. In RTV, conductors are stationary, magnetic field is time variant. Here, rate of change of, I am saying here, please try to listen. Rate of change of d by dt of n pi, rate of change of flux linkage will be possible. I'll tell you how it is possible. Rate of change of flux linkage will be possible and EMF will be induced. You know, E proportional d by dt of n pi, no? Whenever d by dt of n pi is possible, rate of change of flux linkage is possible, then EMF will be induced. That EMF only we are calling it as, what is that? What is the name for this EMF induced in RTV? Statical EMF. Statical EMF is induced because of relative time variation between conductors and magnetic field, where conductors are stationary, magnetic field is time variant. You may get one doubt, sir, how rate of change of flux linkage here it is possible? Very simple. I told here magnetic field time variant. See guys, time variant means what? Example, you can take like this. Magnetic field means you can take flux pi equal to pi m sin omega t. This pi is varying with what time? That means if this flux is nothing but what I can say? Time variant flux TV, or I can say AC flux. Simply I can write AC flux. Yes or no? Whenever pi is time variant, what about n pi? N pi also time variant. D by dt of n pi will be possible or not possible? Possible. So that's why EMF will be induced. Though that EMF only we are calling it as a statical EMF. Example. Tell me where this static EMF will be induced. Best example I can say transformers. Okay, transformers. Because you know in transformers conductors are stationary and magnetic field will be time variant. Okay, transformers. Okay, so I'll explain how it is rate of change of flux linkage will be possible in a transformers. Okay, you tell me guys, in transformers which type of supply generally we will be giving to transformer primary winding? You know, obviously time variant supply, or I can say AC supply. So supply given to transformer primary winding is nothing but AC supply. I am writing here AC supply, or I can say time variant, like V equal to Vm sin omega t. That voltage function is varying with the time. Means what? Yes, supply is AC at time variant. Whenever supply is time variant, current taken by the transformer is nothing but I mu. Initially it will take some current I mu. What is the name for this I mu? Magnetizing current. That name itself indicates. What is the function of this I mu? I mu is used to magnetize the transformer core, or I can say it is used to produce flux in the transformer core. Anyway, we will discuss clearly about I mu if we start transformers chapter. Okay. So whenever supply is time variant or AC, so I mu is also AC, or I can say time variant. Whenever I mu is time variant or AC, flux produced in the transformer core is also AC or time variant. Is it clear? And already we discussed whenever pi is time variant or AC, this N pi flux linkage also will be time variant or AC. Rate of change of flux linkage will be possible. That only we are calling it as a statically EMF. Is it clear? Okay. Next, whatever EMF induced in transformer, nothing but statically EMF. Direction of static EMF is given by Lenz's law. So let me write here as a note. I am just giving here. As a note, I am just giving here. Direction of E statically EMF. Direction of E statically is given by what? Is given by Lenz's law. Is given by Lenz's law. Okay. Tell me guys, what about this Lenz's law? See, regarding this Lenz's law, we'll see clearly once we start a transformers chapter. Okay. But simply Lenz's law means everybody knows that effect opposes changes in cause. So that how effect opposing change in cause, that all those things will see clearly if we start transformers chapter. Okay. So simply I can write here Lenz's law means effect opposes changes in cause. Effect opposes changes in cause. This is what I can say simply Lenz's law. Okay, right. Next, this is about relative time variation. Now let me discuss about relative space variation, RSV, relative space variation. See guys, what about conductor's position in our relative space variation and how magnetic field will be there in a relative space variation? We'll see. See, very simple. In relative space variation, conductors are moving. Conductors are moving. They are moving. Okay. And what about magnetic field? Magnetic field is time invariant. Time invariant. Time invariant. So let me write in short TIV, time invariant. So time invariant nothing but it's like we can treat it as DC. Okay, DC flux, DC magnetic field. Okay, right. Here you may get one doubt, sir. In a relative time variation, you said since magnetic field is time variant, since pi is time variant. So N pi is time variant, rate of change of flux linkage is possible. That's why EMF was induced. That EMF only we called it as static EMF. Then in RSV you may get one doubt, sir. Magnetic field is time invariant here, nothing but DC. If it is pi is not time variant, if it is time invariant, if it is not AC, if it is DC, then how can rate of change of flux linkage here possible? To be frank, though magnetic field is time invariant, though magnetic field is DC, still rate of change of flux linkage is possible here because conductors are moving. Okay, so that topic we will discuss clearly in alternators, DC generators, all those things. That means when a moving conductor cuts time invariant magnetic field, then EMF will be induced. Okay, that how EMF will be induced, all those things will see clearly if you start alternators and DC generators. Okay, right. So here I can say rate of change of flux linkage d by dt of N pi. Is it possible? Not possible? Is it possible? Though magnetic field is time invariant, still rate of change of flux is possible because conductors are moving. Then EMF will be induced. That EMF only we are calling it as dynamical EMF, dynamically EMF, or we can call that EMF as motionally EMF also, motionally EMF. Okay, dynamic EMF is induced. Tell me how rate of change of flux is possible here. So E dynamic proportional to d by dt of N pi is possible since conductors are moving. Though magnetic field is time invariant, since conductors are moving, so I can say that rate of change of flux linkage will be possible. EMF will be induced. That EMF only we are calling it as dynamically EMF. Is it clear? Next example. In all rotating machine, I can say all rotating machine, all rotating machines. all rotating machines. Okay, next, tell me guys, direction of dynamic EMF is given by Fleming's right hand rule. Okay, let me write that note here. Right, direction of E dynamically, that means dynamic EMF, direction of E dynamically is given by you know what is that? Fleming's right hand rule. Fleming's right hand rule. Simply I can write it as FRH rule. Okay, very simple. Regarding this Fleming's right hand rule, we discuss in the next video. Anyway, let us see in brief. In Fleming's right hand rule, guys, you see this thumb indicates motion of the conductor, forefinger indicates direction of magnetic field, center finger or middle finger indicates direction of EMF or direction of dynamic EMF or current. Okay, we'll see in the clearly about FRH, Fleming's right hand rule, in the next video. Okay, right, this is about RSV and RTV. In addition to this RTV and RSV, let us discuss one special point here, one special note here. Okay, this note is very important. In so many competitive examinations, they had given this question about this note. Suppose guys, if conductors are, if I take conductors are stationary, if conductors are stationary, and if magnetic field is a time time invariant, now tell me rate of change of flux linkage d by dt of n pi value how much? I am asking, please tell me. If conductor is stationary, magnetic field is time invariant, tell me rate of change of flux linkage, nothing but EMF proportional to d by dt of n pi. No, I am asking EMF value how much or d by dt of n pi value how much. Very simple. See guys, suppose if conductors are stationary, I told you in RTV, if conductors are stationary, magnetic field should be time invariant, but here magnetic field is time invariant. Suppose if magnetic field is time invariant, if you take in RSV, okay, conductors are moving, but here conductors are stationary. That means here rate of change of flux linkage will be absent, value will be equal to 0, comma EMF induced in the winding is equal to 0. Okay, so they are asking in so many PSUs they are asking question about this node, but they are asking indirectly. How? You tell me guys, conductors are stationary. Conductors are stationary means, can I take transformer? Obviously, because in a transformer, conductors are stationary only. So let me take a transformer having primary winding and secondary winding like this. Transformer, primary winding and secondary winding like this. And these two windings are magnetically coupled through transformer core. These two lines in this case is a transformer core. These two windings are magnetically coupled through transformer core. Okay, and see guys, for this primary winding, practical some resistance will be there. So let me show the resistance value here as R1. R1 is the value of primary winding resistance. Similarly, for the secondary winding resistance will be there. So let me show that resistance value here, R2. Okay. And I told you this one is primary winding. How can you say that this is a primary winding? Winding which is connected to the source is nothing but primary winding. So here let me take a source. Generally, which type of supply will be giving to transformer? AC supply. But okay, anyway, just write. Let me write here AC supply only. I will indicate here AC supply. V1. I taken here AC supply. Okay, and let me secondary winding means what? Secondary winding is the one which is connected to the load. Okay, right. Next guys, primary winding current I will take it as I1. secondary winding current I'll take it as I2, and a primary winding EMF I'll take it as E1. So E1 is the value induced in primary winding, E2 is the EMF value induced in a secondary winding, and this is what I can say load, and let me take load voltage as a V2, right? Yeah. See, conductors are stationary, that's why I taken a transformer case, but small adjustment here, because here a magnetic field is time invariant. That means what? Tell me when magnetic field will be time invariant. If IME will be time invariant, magnetic field will be time invariant. Tell me when IME will be time invariant. If supply is nothing but time invariant, nothing but magnetic field time invariant means instead of connecting AC supply, you should give DC supply to the transformer. That is only this note. Is it clear? That means indirectly I am asking question, what will happen to transformer if I connect DC supply? Is it clear? Suppose before explaining connecting DC supply to transformer, let me explain what will happen if AC supply is connected to the transformer. So this is what AC supply only, no? I have taken AC supply. First of all, let me discuss AC supply case. Then I'll go for DC supply case. Okay, please. This connecting AC supply we know already, but anyway I'll repeat once again. Tell me guys, if I connect AC supply to the transformer, that too I'll take a magnitude of AC voltage source. Let V1 AC is equals to, I'll take 200 volts. I'll take 200 volts, right? 200 volts. Is it clear? Right. Whenever voltage is time variant, IME is time variant, pi will be time variant, then obviously EMF into the primary winding E1 proportional to d by dt of N1 into pi. How many number of turns in primary winding? I'll take here number of turns in primary winding as N1, number of turns secondary winding as N2. So in primary winding, EMF will be induced E1 proposed d by dt of N1 into pi. Rate of change of flux linkage, here it is possible. How can you say that it is possible? Because source is time variant, AC time variant, IMU is time variant, pi is time variant. Whenever pi is time variant, N1 pi will be time variant. Rate of change of flux linkage will be possible. Yes, EMF will be induced in a primary winding. Similarly, same flux will come from primary winding to secondary winding through transformer core. It links with the secondary winding. So there also EMF will be induced. E2 proportional to d by dt of, tell me how many number of turns in the secondary winding? N2 into pi, core flux pi. So here also EMF will be induced. Is it clear? So let us assume that let this E1 value is equals to, I'll take E1 value is equals to, E1 value I am assuming it as 180 volts. Ideally V1 and E1 should be same, but practically some resistance is, you will be having some drop. That's why I'm assuming E1 as 180 volts. Okay. Now tell me guys, what is the primary winding current in this? I mean in the primary side I'm asking. Very simple question I'm asking. So according to circuit theory, okay, I1 value how much I'm asking? I1 value primary side primary winding current. V1 AC minus E1 by R1. Yes or no? V1 AC minus E1 divided by what? R1. Is it clear? Yes or no? Now tell me guys, what is the value of V1 AC I had taken? 200 volts. What is the value of E1 value I had taken? 180 volts. So tell me what is the numerator value? I am asking numerator value. 200 minus 180, 20 volts. Corresponding to 20 volts, current is flowing in primary side, which is very less. So nothing will happen to windings. Windings will not burn out. If I give what? AC supply to the transformer. Okay. This is simply I had taken this one because our main topic is not this one, right? Our note is not this one. Our note is giving DC supply to the, what will happen if I give DC supply to transformer? That is our case. DC supply, if you give DC supply, magnetic field will be time invariant. So please, In place of AC voltage source, now please connect a DC voltage source. Let me connect DC voltage source. Please connect DC voltage source plus minus V1 DC, V1 DC, V1 DC. Now tell me guys, in this case you should tell clearly what will happen if I give DC supply to transformer. This is only our note, whatever we have discussed in this one, this is only our case. But for understanding this one, simply I had taken connecting AC supply to the transformer. Now tell me guys, DC supply. Tell me guys, let V1 DC, magnitude of DC voltage source, I am just taking once again just like AC voltage magnitude, how much I had taken 200. Here also I am just assuming let V1 DC equals to 200 volts. Now tell me guys, whenever V1 is DC, time invariant, current taken in the transformer DC, time invariant, flux produced in the transformer core DC, time invariant. Whenever pi is time invariant, okay, and already conductors are stationary, rate of change of flux linkage will be there or will not be there? Please tell me. Rate of change of flux linkage will be possible or not possible? Obviously not possible. Yes or no? So d by dt of n1 into pi, rate of change of flux linkage will be absent. Since magnetic field is time invariant, conductors are stationary, rate of change of flux linkage will be absent. EMF induced in primary winding is equal to 0. EMF induced in secondary winding also equal to 0 volts. So let me show here 0 volts, E2 also 0 volts. Is it clear? Now tell me, in this primary side, how much current is flowing? So I am asking I1 value. Once again, according to circuit theory, I1, if you want I1 value, V1 DC minus E1 by R1. V1 DC minus E1 by R1. Tell me guys, what is the value of V1 DC? Please. I assumed V1 DC has 200 volts. What is the value of E1? What is the value of E1? I am asking. This V1 is 200 volts, okay. And I am asking what is the value of E1? It's a 0 volts, right? It's a 0 volts. Now tell me what is the numerator value? What is the numerator value? 200 minus 0. 200 volts. Corresponding to 200 volts, current is flowing in a primary side, which is very large. I can say this value is very large. I1 value is very large. Very large. This current is flowing in the primary side, okay, and because of that large amount of current, primary winding will burn out, okay. This is the previous question in so many competitive examinations they are asking. What is the question they are asking? Very simple. What will happen if we give DC supply to the transformer? Simply, if I connect DC supply to the transformer, rate of change of flux linkage will be absent. EMF into the primary winding is 0. EMF into the secondary winding also equal to 0. And in primary side, very large amount of current is flowing. Because of the large amount of current, primary winding will burn out. So please remember what will happen if we give DC supply to the transformer, primary winding will burn out. Immediately some students may get doubt. Sir, so you are saying that primary winding will burn out. Okay. Is there any problem with secondary winding? No. Because some people will ask doubt. Sir, here also E1 is 0, here also it is 0. Then you are saying only primary winding will burn out. And why secondary winding will not burn out? Very simple question. Very simple I am asking. See guys, in primary side we are having source. V1 DC, its source is there, right? Because of the source 200 minus 0 by R1, so I1 value is flowing. Because of that large amount of current, primary winding is burning out. But do we have any source in secondary winding? No. Though E2 is 0, here also E1 is 0, E2 is also 0, okay. But in the primary side we are having source voltage. V1 DC is there, 200 volts is there, right? In the secondary side, do we have any source? No. Don't confuse with by seeing this V2. This V2 is not source. V2 is what I can say load voltage. It's a load voltage. It's not source voltage. Since the source is not present in the secondary side, So nothing will happen to secondary winding since the source is there in primary side. So because of the reason that E1 equal to 0, large amount of current is flowing in primary side, primary winding will burn out. Please, those who want statement, they can write by keeping one note. Please, after writing all those things, you just write as a note, Please note down as a note. If DC supply is given to transformer, please note down. If DC supply is given to transformer, where conductors are stationary, in transformer conductors are stationary only, yeah. If DC supply is given to transformer where conductors are stationary, then rate of change of flux linkage is absent. Rate of change of flux linkage is absent, very large amount of current is flowing in primary side, very large amount of current is flowing in primary side, due to which primary winding will burn out. Is it clear? Right. See, in the next video, I'll be proceeding with the basics topic only. Okay. Thank you.